of electric power tool, how to maximize its energy without harming yourself. Just like Thor needs his hammer and Pikachu needs his tail, we human beings need a complete power supply and distribution system for the use of electricity. After this lesson, you will be able to grasp the basic concepts of the power supply and distribution system. The basic requirements for power supply and distribution, and which indicators are used to measure power quality. First, let's see the composition of the power supply and distribution system. As shown in the dotted box in the figure, the power supply and distribution system can consist of 5 parts, which are general step-down substation, high-voltage distribution stations, distribution lines, consumer substation, and electrical equipment. The general step-down transmission substations are located at switching points in an electrical grid. They connect different parts of a grid and are source for substation mission lines or distribution lines. They can charge the transmission voltage, usually 35 to 110 kV, to a sub-transmission voltage, usually 6 to 10 kV. High-voltage distribution stations are points in the power system where power can be pulled from generating sources, distributed and transported, and delivered to the low points. Substations are interconnected with each other so that the power becomes a meshed network. This increases the reliability of the power supply system by providing alternative paths for flow of power to take care of any contingents so that power delivered to the load is maintained and the generators do not face any outage. Distribution stations are either built within buildings or outdoors, but always in an enclosed area. The design of these stations depends on economic, environment, legal, and social factors. Distribution lines consist of overhead distribution lines, power lines hung on utility poles, and underground distribution lines, cable buried in the ground. Distribution lines are separable by voltage into 6 to 10 kV high voltage distribution lines and 380 to 220 volt low voltage distribution lines. A consumer power substation is an electrical installation connected to a utility supply system at a normal voltage usually, which, for example, may supply a single middle volt and low volt transformer, several middle volt and low volt transformers, or one or several middle volt, low volt secondary substations. In production and life settings, different systems need power. The lack of lighting and security surveillance equipment rely heavily on electrical connections. This means a lot of focus needs to be placed on the connectivity and installation work. With the help of professionals, the operations will produce smoothly. With great power comes great responsibility, and there is always a need for everyone to observe the best practice when dealing with electrical systems. This helps in making them work in the right way. The issue to do with accidents can be avoided as well. Now, let's take a look at the basic requirements for power supply and distribution. A considerable amount of effort is necessary to maintain an electric power supply within the requirements of various types of consumers. There are 4 basic requirements for power supply and distribution system. They are safe, reliability, high quality, and economical. That means, firstly, In the supply, distribution, and use of electric energy, no personal accidents and equipment accidents should occur. Secondly, it should meet the requirements of electric energy users for power supply reliability, that is, continuous power supply. What's more, it should meet the requirements of electric energy users for voltage quality and frequency quality. Lastly, the power supply system should be less investment, low operating costs, and save as much electricity as possible. Finally, let's take about the indicators of power quality. Definition of power quality involves voltage, frequency, and waveform. Good power quality can be defined as a steady supply voltage that stays within the prescribable range, steady AC frequency close to the related value, and smooth voltage curve waveform. Resembles a sine wave. Without a proper power, an electrical device or load may malfunction, fail prematurely, or not operate at all. Power quality has a huge impact on the performance and consists of a power system. So it is necessary to make sure that the power coming in is of the right quality and that your machines are set to function properly with the power they are supplied. Lastly, let's do a short summary here. The power supply and distribution system consists of general step-down substation, high voltage distribution station, distribution line, consumer substation, and electrical equipment. Basic requirements for power supply and distribution are safety, reliability, high quality, and economical. Lastly, power quality is measured by voltage, frequency, and waveform quality. Now, please think and try to answer the following questions. The first one, what are the components of the power supply and distribution system? What are their respective characteristics on voltage? The second one, what measure can be taken to ensure the security of power supply and distribution? The last one, what are the indicators to measure power quality? That's all for this topic. See you next time.